there was an Indian gentleman, young man, maybe late 20s. He had been visiting and kind of staying in one of the northern temples. But he wanted to see Srila Prabhupada, so he came in, and I was there also. And he said, I've noticed that your disciples, in the morning when they're chanting japa, some of them fall asleep, they nod out. So I would like to teach them yoga. I will teach them yoga principles, exercises, and then they won't fall asleep. And Prabhupada very politely said, yes, sometimes they fall asleep, but they'll learn and they'll improve. So he sidestepped the question, and the man insisted, no, I would like to teach them yoga. So if you'll just give me your permission, I will teach them yoga. Prabhupada said, no, it's not required. Bhakti yoga is. So the man became very adamant and insistent. He said, no, they're deficient, I must teach them. And Prabhupada then became a little upset and said, I know that they may have some deficiencies, but still they're better than anyone else. And he would not agree to having them teach yoga at the temple. And the man, I think he began to argue more, and we asked him, to leave after that. But
there was one devotee with epilepsy, and Brahmananda said, Prabhupada, he's following Dr. I don't remember the wording, and Brahmananda said, oh, why don't you take some pills, they work. You should use these Western medicine pills. And Prabhupada asked the devotee, well, is this treatment working, this fasting? And he said, yes. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes. If you are sick, then fasting is the best cure.
So Prabhupada had come to Hyderabad. We had all gone, 1975, we had gone down for the festival. All the devotees had went to India for the festival. So we went from Vrindavan down to Hyderabad because he had a big pandal set up there. So Prabhupada was doing the pandal festival in the evening. It was a 3-night program. And all the devotees were sitting up on stage. And the people, there must have been 1,000, 2,000 people there. Full house, outside pandal. So Prabhupada was like a lion when he gives these lectures, different from America. In India, a lot of Sanskrit, and he really pounds on the philosophy. He's like a lion, And so he's, finishes his lecture, and then they ask, are there any questions? So there's several questions, and then this one man comes up to the microphone, and he begins to explain how he's experiencing Krishna, and how he has realizations of Krishna, and he's seeing Krishna, and he's going on and on for an extended period. So some of Prabhupada's sannyasis are sitting around, and they're getting a little, they don't feel this is correct. You're kind of wasting time. So they start to move to take him away from the mic, and Prabhupada says, no, let him finish. So then he finishes the story. And then Prabhupada takes that whole experience of him telling of his experiences of Krishna and explains how a realized person never feels that they have seen God, that they always are feeling, where is Krishna? He described the Goswamis, Krishna Kirtana Gana Nayaka Nipano, and he explained the prayers of the 6 Goswamis and how, and actually Krishna conscious person never feels that he has seen Krishna, but he's always hankering to see Krishna. So that was something we learned on that we should never feel we are with Krishna. We should always be hankering to see Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada was coming to make some recording at Golden Avatar Studios. The tape ministry was called Golden Avatar, and I lived across the street with my daughter in these apartments. It was next to a fire station, and we called them the fire station apartments, something. So it was right across the street from Golden Avatar. So Prabhupada was coming, and I went across the street. I bought a fruit plate. I was just to present to him. We put it inside of the studio, right next to the seat that he would be sitting in. And there was just 4 or 5 devotees there. Finally, Srila Prabhupada was coming, and we were all standing around, just a few. And he parked the driver parked the car, and the sidewalk was a little bit high, and the car was down a bit. You understand? So Prabhupada had to step up to get onto the sidewalk. The devotee who had driven Srila Prabhupada to the studio stepped out and opened the car door. And Srila Prabhupada, we had paid our obeisances, but gotten up by then. And Prabhupada was struggling a bit to get out of the car. It was difficult for anyone to do it, but he was also an older gentleman. And it would have been nice for the devotee to extend his hand to help Srila Prabhupada to get out of the car. And I'm just watching this, and I'm feeling, please extend your hand to help Srila Prabhupada. And then I'm feeling like I should do that. I didn't do it. But the whole time that Srila Prabhupada went in, finally Srila Prabhupada got out of the car and didn't, with no assistance, walked himself to the door of the studio. So we waited an hour and a half. Srila Prabhupada was finished, and I was dying the whole time. I felt so guilty that I didn't extend my hand. That was a perfect opportunity to serve the spiritual master. I mean, probably it was best that I didn't do it. But anyway, Prabhupada walks out, and I go right up to Srila Prabhupada, who comes up to here on me, and I'm not so tall myself, 5'3", so he's up to here on me. And I walked over and I said, Srila Prabhupada, please forgive me for not helping you get out of the car. And he looks at me, and he said, what? I said, Srila Prabhupada, you came, and it looked like you maybe, I should have helped you get out of the car because it looked like maybe you needed some assistance. Please forgive me. He looks to his servant. He said, what did she say? And then the servant says, oh, it's nothing important, Srila Prabhupada. And I said, Srila Prabhupada, it's very important. Please forgive me for not having helped you get out of the car when you first arrived. And he saw my face. He said, oh, it's okay. So Prabhupada's always telling me it's okay, and I'm being a complete fool in front of my guru. So that's another incident.
There were three of us sitting in the back, Pushta Krishna, Nanda Kumar, and myself. I was in the middle. Shyamasundar was driving, and Prabhupada was sitting in the front right seat. And he was kind of nodding off a little, it seemed. Or there was quiet, there was no talking, and I thought I would ask a very intelligent question. So I said, Srila Prabhupada? And he said, I said, how much association did your Guru Maharaj have with Srila Gaura Das Babaji? So as soon as I asked the question, there was silence, and it became a long silence, and both the other devotees who were sitting in the back seat began to chastise me, kind of silently, that I had asked a very foolish question. And they said, oh no, why have you? Yeah, I think even Shyamasundar turned around to give me a dirty look. I didn't think there was anything wrong with the question, but it turns out that they all thought that it was an inappropriate question. So after a very long silence, which appeared to me to be practically forever, finally Prabhupada said, why do you ask? And then I realized by that time that it wasn't inappropriate. And I said, I'm sorry, Srila Prabhupada, it was just a question out of curiosity, it wasn't important. And so he was silent, he didn't say anything more. So I learned the lesson that don't try to make small talk and don't ask questions that are not appropriate to your level of understanding or advancement or that are important. Don't just ask questions out of curiosity.